So welcome back to the Black Hills and Eastern Railroad, everybody. You might remember in July when I had that episode where we showed this SD40-2, the 1876 one of BN's Bicentennial units, and I discovered during the making of that video that the rotary beacon had stopped working, and so we're going to dig into that in this episode and try and find out if we can figure out what's going on. I just had it on the main line over here. F1 does not result in the rotary beacon coming on. That's typically my standard on my BN units, is to have that function on F1 on the silent decoders. It should work. It doesn't, so we'll have to tear the engine apart and see what's going on. So you probably noticed in that opening shot that I had the soldering iron out. I got that preheating right now. But the first thing we're going to do is take a look on the programming track and see if we can figure out what is going on with the decoder itself before we open the engine up and look inside. So I fired up JMRI Decoder Pro and found that everything looks normal on the light page. The rotary beacon simulation is set up on F1, and then over on the function mappings page with the green wire is going to F1. That's both of those things have how I normally have my BN engine set up, so this should be good to go. So unfortunately for this guy, as you saw in Decoder Pro and me, he's going to have to be torn apart, and we're going to see what's going on with that decoder. Again, I'm going to use my yogurt cup to catch the small parts as they come off the engine here. We just, on this Kadee, we've got the two screws that hold the draft gear boxes on, and then the shell slips right off. Maybe going to do just a decoder swap here. Might be easy enough. As luck would have it here, I keep on hand a small supply of silent decoders. This one came from Donovan's Hobby and Scuba in Sioux Falls. I have a DH166 here. The DH123 is a fine decoder, but it does not allow for any other functions besides F0, forward and back. You can sacrifice the rear light for the forward or for another function, but I don't like doing that. I'd rather have both forward and backup lights and my think light. So we're going to go ahead and swap these decoders. I had set this up as I traditionally do, or as I do by standard. I'm just pulling this. There's a socket here. I believe that's a 10-pin socket, JMRI standard. And what we're using here is the P version of both of these decoders, 123P and a DH166P. And all I have to do is basically replace the engine shell here. We're going to go back to the programming track and see if we can get this taken care of again. So it would appear that my documentation was incorrect or outdated here in the JMRI roster. I have this decoder as a DH163P, and obviously this was a DH123, which is not going to support the proper sound functions unless we made some changes. So that's why that rotary beacon wasn't working. So I decided to get rid of that old Loco entry, that DH166 entry. That was a lie anyways, it turns out. So I will go ahead and get a new Loco, and I know exactly what we're going for here. We want Digitrax. We want a DH Series 6, I believe this is, 166. I believe these are all the same definitions. They just give you these here for recognizability of the engine. The DH166D, DH166P, and PS, I believe, are all identical. You get the exact same decoder, just the harness, and some of these others probably are the same guts on the printed circuit board, just what form that printed circuit board takes. So I'll open Comprehensive Programmer here, And we will, let's see, go right over to the basic tab and hit read full sheet. And the first thing I'm going to want to do here is change to a long address, set my unit number, in this case 1876. I am going to disable the NMRA or the conversion mode. I'm going to set that to off. I've heard that causes problems with a lot of different things, reliability. Mainly setting that to off helps with that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit write changes on the sheet. And then we're going to jump over to lights, and we're going to read full sheet. And we're going to take the rotary beacon simulation, and we're going to set that to non-directional with function on, effect phase A. And I'm going to go ahead and hit write changes on the sheet. And then just for the heck of it, we're going to go over and check the function map. Probably no changes needed here, but that's probably no changes needed here. But we'll go ahead and hit read full sheet anyway, just to run down, see what's up. See the light flashing on my engine here as that reading is going on. And that should be it. We're ready to go back out to the main line and see how it behaves. So again, we've got the active address set to 1876, the long address. And we'll go ahead and fill out the roster entry here just for the heck of it, so we have the correct information in the 1876, not 79. And we're going to say 1876. This is a Kadee unit. I'm the owner, and this is an SD40-2. BN's first SD40-2, from what I have been able to read. I'm going to hit save to roster, and I'll let the backup on the computer take over. So we'll go out to the main now and see what it looks like. So here's how it goes. I have the engine on a powered track out on the layout. I have the engine dialed up, and I have F1 set to on. And as you see, I get the flashing rotary beacon simulation here. So I'm happy with that. All that it took. We didn't actually use a soldering iron tonight. So I've turned the soldering iron back off because there's going to be no need for that this evening. Putting these couplers back on here. Just an explanation. I've got this really long coupler on the nose of this engine. And the reason why I have that is because when we're operating, I don't like that that trip pin interfering, or the plow interferes with the trip pin on the adjacent car or adjacent locomotive a lot. So in order to keep that from happening, I install that, I believe that's a number 41 coupler up there. Underset long shank Kadee coupler. That alleviates that problem. It looks kind of squirrely, I'm aware of that, but it really gets the job done. Anyway, so we've got an extra DH123 decoder here to use in some other project, and we've got the Fink light working on the 1876 again, ready to pull a bunch of freight. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit that like button, comment, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.